You are whole, perfect, and complete, just the way you are and just the way you are not. You believe it? Hi, this is Corradi, Mastering the Art of Life, and I'm here today with CHRISTI'S Clarity to tell you that it's true. You are perfect just the way you are and just the way you are not. Because whatever your uniqueness is that you came into the world with is your greatest purpose and greatest place in this world. And then what about just the way that you are not? Well, I'll tell you, probably 40 years ago when I first came into this work, there was a teacher that said that at the end of the service. And I all of a sudden went, oh, just the way I'm not? What do you mean just the way I'm not? That makes me okay. And I started to realize that with all my faux pas, all of my mistakes, all of the things that I had done made me perfect in that moment. I had a tumultuous teenage years. I was kind of wild and crazy. And I remember when I was later in my later years, I was running youth programs, and there was a young man that was suicidal. He had a plan. He knew when he was going to do it. He knew what he was going to do. And I just went, this is serious. I'm going to sit down with him. And I was able to look at him and say, you know what? Everything that's happened in my life, especially the not so good things that happened to me in my life, brought me to this moment, to being here with you. And that statement was true, just the way I am and just the way I am not. And I was able to sit with him, and we were able to look at different options in different ways. And he would actually allowed me to reach out to his family and to help him make some lasting changes in his life. Why? Because of my imperfections, because of my screw ups, because of the times that I felt like I wasn't worthy of belonging, that I didn't have things going my way. And every one of those things, every one of the missteps that I've taken, every time that something happened in my life that wasn't good, brought me to that moment. And everything that's happened to me since has brought me to this moment, to be with you in this moment, to say, you are perfect just the way you are and just the way you are not. In fact, in that same program, I used to play a lot of songs, mostly contemporary music for the kids, but they would even let me get away with playing like kids songs. And there was this one like kids song, and the kids that are now young adults with families of their own that went through those youth programs remember some of these songs, especially God Don't Make Junk. Now, if you're not a G word kind of person, don't let that stop you from hearing what it said. Everything in this life is perfect because there is no junk. We may have made mistakes. We may have, and I'll tell you, every mistake that we have made probably comes down to our lack of belief in ourselves. So today we are talking about the law of wholeness. This is chapter 12 of my 12-chapter book called Beyond the Box book. And the law is the law of wholeness. The only time we are outside of the law of wholeness is when we have forgotten who we are. That causes us to move into actions and situations and draw into us things that don't necessarily support us in remembering and expressing our wholeness in the world. So if you want to do a little assignment. This actually happens in the book right around, I think it's chapter 3, but it's called an assessment list. And an assessment list is looking at everything that you have done that has brought you to this moment of being your whole perfect self. Okay. And that includes the time I ran away from school, ran away from home. It also includes the time that I had to get home on time from the river and my girlfriends didn't want to go. So I went out and hitchhiked. And these guys picked me up. And I talked them into a story that let me out of the car, but then I was stranded. Anyway, that's another story. But all of the things that we have done, whether we call them good or call them bad. In fact, my mentor, Mary Morrissey, she says, nothing's bad until you call it bad. She heard somebody say that. Because if we say, I'm open to this being good in my life, I'm open to seeing the blessing in it, I will tell you, you will see somebody will come into your life and need the same support that you would have loved to have had back then, and you made it through that. So just remember, you are whole, perfect, and complete, just the way that you are, and just the way you are not. So take that into your week. This is Christy with Christy's Clarity, and I'll see you next week for our final segment on Beyond the Box. And you can always find the book at beyondtheboxbook.com. And you can go back to YouTube. That's right. That's what I want to tell you. Go back to YouTube to my channel, Christy Corradi. And I think its tagline is Mastering the Art of Life. And you can find all 12 segments, which is 4 lessons per segment on the book. And you can always go to beyondtheboxbook.com. This is Christy Corradi with Mastering the Art of Life. Thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if today's Christy's Clarity resonated with you. If you like this video, I've chosen another of my videos that I think you'll like next.